Hello and welcome to the Tanki Online Final. This is it, ladies and gentlemen, the last and most exciting jaw-dropping battle of Season 2. We have some of the most talented professional tankers in the world here today to battle out for the penultimate prize, and the biggest title a tanker can possess. As you can see hovering around the map, it looks like the Reds are going for a more defensive layout, whereas the Blues dominating the centre. Just can't wait to get this battle started. So, as I've said, rather than the Blues, the Reds are picking a more defensive strategy. As you see, they're kind of choosing a basic defensive strategy, 3 behind walls, attacking, defending, quite a basic defensive strategy for this level of gameplay, but as we've seen from other battles, it is a very effective strategy, and doesn't involve that much planning and thinking about it, so good on the Reds. As you can see, 5 seconds until the battle starts, and both teams looking like they're very excited. And it has begun. The Blues are immediately going right into battle, while the Reds, as I've said, they're going for a very defensive strategy. The Blues coming from north, south and west, very, very attackative, if that's a word. And it's going to be quite hard for the Reds to defend it, but they look like they're defending it quite well. Some of these Blues aren't doing the best teamwork and they're kind of isolating themselves, which is actually quite dangerous for the Blues because of the Reds' incredibly good professional base layout. But the Blues are attacking quite dangerously at the moment. So, about 40 seconds in, it's still around even. It could be a very fair, even game at this point, although it could turn around very easily as it's only been a minute. So, as you can see, the Reds are still defending. I think they should try and do a little bit of an attacking strategy, but the defense could plan out to be an advantage to them in the long run. Maybe, possibly, they'd actually want to draw at the end of this, but I'd probably say they'd want to win, because who would want to draw over a win? So, still kind of defending, although a few of the Reds, incorporating their teamwork, are kind of going out front. Whereas the Blues, they're all going guns blazing and trying to give no real leeway for the Blues at the moment, seeing as they're going right in the middle of all of them and kind of disrupting the peace, in my opinion. But anyway, so as you can see, both teams are going strong, and it looks like Arcade are actually trying to dominate all the drug points, seeing as the Blues aren't really doing the greatest teamwork, although seeing as they're all kind of going into a conglomeration at the moment, trying to all attack, that is quite a good strategy. Anyway, as you can see, it's gonna be a blue flag, I'd almost guarantee at the moment, just because don't know how they wouldn't capture it considering they're all defending like that. Yep, and it's 1 to blue. That's quite a good head start for the Blues, but it could go any way considering there's a whole 3/4 of the match left. Now, Foundations are kind of isolating themselves at the moment, unfortunately. They're putting a few of their teammates on the wrong side of the map, and obviously, considering the Reds, their strategy is kind of sticking together, doing a great defense, and attacking each person one by one to try and not get their flag away, which I can totally agree with. And the Reds have captured it, which is quite a turn of events. They're on a draw right now. Very exciting stuff. But seeing as both teams are very, very talented, I'd say this match could go either way at the moment. But it looks like the Blues have got no defense at the moment. That's a bit silly in my opinion. I'd say keep one person at defense, like maybe behind a house or something, trying to defend the base. Otherwise, as you can see, a Red in the corner over there is capturing the flag very slyly, which is quite good, and I do give props to that red, that arcade, who's hiding behind places, but unfortunately flag got taken. As you can see, if you isolate yourself, it's quite easy to get destroyed. So if these guys have any sense of teamwork, they'd try at least to get the flag with any sense of teamwork and strength with numbers. Guess that's the right analogy. And the blues and the reds have taken what am I even saying? They've taken both flags, and it's quite an even match, but they destroyed the blues, and blues have captured it. 2-1. It's quite an advantage to the blues right now. I don't see how the reds will really catch up at this point, considering the blues are 2-1 up. But it's the midway point, so considering it's midway, it could go anywhere. Even though it's 2-1, both teams could pull it back. I've seen in many other battles before this one that it's very, very easy to pull back a victory from a 2-1 lead at the midway point. But the time's slowly going, and the reds really are being quite defensive still, which is quite a silly move. But they are getting some attack, which is quite useful for the red side. Two players on the red, which is not isolating themselves, which is very good in my opinion, and they're slowly capturing it away from all the blues' defense, which is quite good. And the blues seem to all be defending, even though the reds have got it over there. But 3-1. It's going to be very difficult for the reds to get a victory out of this one. And the blues have already... no, not anymore. They got the flag and then immediately died. Okay. So, 3-1. Very difficult for both teams to get back into the game. both teams. It will be quite difficult for the reds. They could pull it off, but time is slowly going, so they better get in the game as fast as they can. Otherwise, it's going to be a smooth victory for the blues. At this point, I would advise the blues to have a more defensive ideology rather than going all guns blazing like they did at the start. When it was a draw, 0-0 at the start, they went all guns blazing. But at the moment, 3-1, I'd say the blues should go for a more defensive strategy at the moment. If I was on their team, I would advise the entire team on Skype or any other call to stick with the flag. Maybe all the hunters stay on top of the flag to try not to let all the reds defeat and prosper. So, as you can see, the blues are kind of going for my tactic at the moment, which is very good in my opinion, but it looks like there's only 2, now 3 on the flag defending, which I don't know if it will be enough. It might be, but the blues have got the reds flag, which will make it a lot more difficult for the reds to capture, seeing as they can't capture with the blues already having the flag. But looks like it's an ambush from behind. 2 reds ambushing the blue. And considering the ambush was not fruitful, it's going to be very difficult for the reds to get a draw or even a win out of 1 minute 40 seconds left. But it could be anyone's game. I don't know if I can say that at this point. And it looks like the blue with the flag is on incredibly low health, so if the reds do manage to get that guy, although he's switched to another guy, which is quite a good strategy, then it could turn out well for the reds, but I'm not hoping anything, I'm not promising anything, and it has! Okay, I'm a genius. Anyway, the reds have a one one flag gap to pull off in 1 minute, which might be quite difficult for them. I don't know if they really want a draw anyway. They want a draw more than a loss, obviously. And it's 3-all. It's even. That's a miracle. That's a true miracle. This is gonna go down in history of Tanki Online and one of the best games ever, I'd say. 1 minute and 30 seconds. In the extent of about 30 seconds, they captured a flag. That's just magnificent. Props to Arcade. Massive props to Arcade. Just for making this battle 1,000 times more interesting. I don't know if either teams really want a draw at the moment, so it looks like Blues are going incredibly desperate at the moment. They're just going all guns blazing. They have nothing to lose. They have a little bit to lose. But they are going all guns blazing. Great teamwork. Looks like it wasn't to be. Goodbye, guys.